Greetings, Facebook. My name is Nzinga, owner of Afriware Books Company. I invite you to join me for about 10 minutes. My theme for today is, I'm in Afriware Books right now, and I'm not able to see who's joining, but that's okay. The theme for today's live is banned books. Yeah, right over my right shoulder. Maybe you can see it, but we have an entire shelf dedicated to the books that have been challenged over the years or are on a banned book list by some politician these days. Yeah. To remove these books from school systems. And I think I am charged with making sure that these books stay in circulation and get the exposure that they continue to get the exposure that they deserve. I'm going to highlight two of those books. Today I'm going to read up 1.5 pages from each of these two books. And if you have any questions, I guess they will appear magically on my screen. Okay, so the first book is called Stamped: Racism, Anti-Racism, and You, and it's by Jason Reynolds and Ibram X. Kendi. This particular edition is the young adult edition of the Stamped from the Beginning book, which you may be familiar with as well. I came into contact with this book after a school system in Oak Park ordered hundreds and hundreds of copies from us when they decided, after the murder of George Floyd, to change their curriculum. I was so impressed. And they made sure to say they were ordering their books from a black bookstore. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like paradise, bookseller paradise. And so if you know anything about the approval process to get a book approved to be in the school system, it could be years. But for this school system to decide, we're going to get it done in like a month, I was done. I was just like, wow. They put an entire curriculum around it. They discussed it with the teenagers. This is a high school. It was so phenomenal. And this was, of course, not just happening in Oak Park, but all around the country. And, of course, I want to keep that flame a-burning. And that this book, is on the banned book list, is a shame. Okay? So I will read from chapter 1. Oh gosh, where to go? I'm going to read from chapter 1. Doesn't take very long, just a page, and tell me what you think. The story of the world's first racist. Before we begin, let's get something straight. This is not a history book. I repeat, this is not a history book. At least not like the ones you're used to reading in school. The ones that feel more like a list of dates. There will be some, with an occasional war here and there. A declaration, definitely gotta mention that. A constitution, that too. A court case or two. And of course, the paragraph that's read during Black History Month. Harriet Rosa Martin. This is not that. This isn't a history book, or at least not that kind of history book. Instead, what this is a book that contains history. A history directly connected to our lives as we live them right this time, right this minute. This is a present book, a book about the here and now, a book that hopefully will help us better understand why we are where we are as Americans, specifically as our identity pertains to race. The R word, which for many of us still feels rated R, or can be matched only with another R word, run. But don't. Let's all just take a deep breath. Inhale, hold it, exhale, and breathe out. R-A-C-E. And that is shown in big, bold letters. Race. See? Not so bad. Except for the fact that race has been a strange and persistent poison in American history, which I'm sure you already know. I'm also sure that, depending on where you are and where you've grown up, your experiences with it, or at least the moment in which you recognize it, may vary. Some may believe race isn't an issue anymore, that it's a thing of the past, old tales of bad times. Others may be certain that race is like an alligator, a dinosaur that never went extinct, but instead evolved. And though hiding in murky swamp waters, that leftover monster is still deadly. And then there are those of you who know that race, and more critical, racism, are everywhere. Those of you who see racism regularly, robbing people of liberty, whether as a violent stick-up or as a sly pickpocket. The thief known as racism is all around. This book, this not history book, this present book, is meant to take you on a race journey from then to now, to show why we feel how we feel, why we live how we live, and why this poison, whether recognizable or unrecognizable, whether it's a scream or a whisper, just won't go away. Yeah, that is just the first chapter of this young adult edition called Stamped. Oh my gosh, if I had a book like this when I was in high school, I would have enjoyed reading. And let me just give you a transparent moment right now. I'm a bookseller who used to hate to read. Yep, it's true. I went into electrical engineering, got my bachelor's and my master's in electrical engineering, specifically because once I learned from my father that I was not going to become a musician, that's another Facebook Live. Once I learned that, I talked to the counselor. I was like, so, what else can I do? You know, I had no idea. What other career can I go into? All I know is I don't like to read. I said those words. And do you see, I now have a bookstore. So I remember, I know why some are turned off from reading. It is because there are no experiences that reflect us in those books. There's nothing to relate to, right? There's nothing to connect to. And that is a turnoff. It's just plain a turnoff. I just did not understand why we had to be traumatized by reading. And when I got into corporate America, it was a group of black men who were like, okay, let's start a reading club. What are we going to read? Black books. I was like, black books? What are you talking about? And so they suggested Invisible Man, Black Economics, and I was totally blown away. I loved the experience. And that feeling that I had, I wanted everyone I met to also experience it, because I was like, this is like the best kept secret ever. I wanted to share it from the mountaintops, because the richness of our history is so fulfilling. It's so uplifting. It is just empowering. And I just knew that if everyone knew this, right, it would just change the world. That's how I still feel today. So anyway, I'm so happy that this group of teachers decided, hey, we're taking matters into our own hands. And I'm sure they can do that anytime. But they seized the time after George Floyd's murder, when, public sentiment was heightened about race relations, to center this in the curriculum. Phenomenal. So that's one of the two books I'm reading from today. Thank you for joining me, although I don't know if anybody is joining me right now. I'm not able to see anything. It looks like nobody is in here, but that's okay. That's okay, because why? I'll share it. I'll share it, and you'll see it at the perfect time for you. So the second book, of which there's an entire series of, is called Racial Justice in America. And the one I'm reading from today is Jim Crow and Policing. And if you're just joining this live, I'm highlighting banned books or challenged books, because I think it is important to keep these books in circulation, to keep them at the top of your mind, because I think censorship is a very dangerous place to reside at any time. We have an entire shelf at Afriware dedicated to banned books. If you go to my website, afriwarebooks.com, you will see an entire category there. You will also see a freebie. If you sign up for our mailing list, at the very top of the page, you can get a free list of all of the banned books. There's like 300 or so of them on there. Of course, most of them are written by Black people. That's another story. You understand. But anyway, I wrote an entire blog about it, and you're welcome to read that blog. I'm going to send you, if you sign up, I'm going to send you everything, okay? You'll get everything. So this is the second book I'm reading from. This is chapter 3. And, yeah, listen to this. So, chapter 3. Oh, gosh. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, chapter 3 is called Jim Crow. It's the same title as the book, Jim Crow and Policing, chapter 3. And it has a picture here of the Ku Klux Klan assembled in some kind of meeting. So, okay, I'm going to read a page and a half of this book. This is like a middle grade. You see, it's very thin. Oh, gosh. What kind of bookseller am I? I don't have the price of it. Anyway, it's on my website. It's a thin book. You can get through it quickly. While I say it's middle grade, there are many an adult like me who some of this we didn't know. So, yeah. Anyway, let me start. Breathe. Okay. As Jim Crow segregation grew, so did modern policing. Although policing in the United States was originally used to keep the peace, it morphed into controlling Black people. This form of policing began during slavery. White people created slave patrols to capture and punish escaped enslaved people. They used force and torture to punish the Black people that they caught. After Reconstruction ended in 1877, the police enforced Jim Crow segregation laws. They stopped Black people on the streets and arrested them, even when they had done nothing wrong. In the South, Many policemen were part of the Ku Klux Klan. Let me say that. Let me say that sentence again. And let it just travel the world with a sound wave that changes humanity. Okay, I'm getting carried away, sorry. Here's the sentence again. In the South, many policemen were part of the Ku Klux Klan. This white terrorist group believes in white supremacy. The KKK, which remains alive and active today, regularly lynched black people for breaking laws such as, quote, looking at a white woman, or, quote, not stepping aside on the sidewalk to allow a white person to pass. And this picture that I showed you earlier, the caption reads, the KKK was full of white people who worked in government, law enforcement, or as local business owners. And I'm just going to read this last half with the caption that's talking about this second picture. Let me show you the second picture. This second picture is what, I don't know, if you're on TikTok, there is a viral video. It's probably on Instagram too, because you know how people share. This picture is about Tulsa, Oklahoma, the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. This is showing how a white mob decimated, destroyed Black Wall Street, a very profitable, thriving black business district in that area. And over 300 people were killed, and you've probably heard about it recently because it was in the news after it's one. I think it's the centennial. Yeah, the centennial. Yeah, 2021. So anyway, that's the picture, and yeah. Oh, I was talking about Tom Hanks. So on TikTok, Tom Hanks is upset. He's angry because he, only 2 years ago, he found out, he read about the 1921 race massacre. I was definitely an adult. It wasn't 2 years ago, but I was an adult also when I learned about this massacre, which is just a shame. So anyway, here's the words on that page, on this page. The United States has experienced many racist riots and massacres throughout its history. Many of them happened throughout the 20th century, and they continue today. Deadly racist violence occurred in Chicago, Illinois in 1919. 3 years later, a report that studied the reasons for the riots was released. It said that the police targeted black people. It reported that black people faced harsher charges for crimes than white men who had done the same thing. And then I'll close with this little blurb here. And thank you for listening. It looks like one person's on. Hello, I appreciate you. I'm not saying your name intentionally because another friend told me they didn't want me to say their name. Anyway, in Oklahoma, during the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, white police officers deputized white citizens. This meant that white police officers gave white mobs guns and allowed them to use force against and murder innocent black people. So that's all I'm going to read from this book. But again, if you're just joining, this is a Facebook Live highlighting 2 books from this list of this bookshelf here, which are all banned books, because I think it's our duty, it's our duty to keep these books in circulation. Yeah, I have to do a separate, that gives me another idea. So I'm going to close out with banned book bling. I couldn't resist. So also on our website, you'll find some socks. Read banned books. Yeah, These are socks that we have. And of course, as the best bookseller I am, I don't even know the price of these. Anyway, I'm going to get used to doing these. So just go to afriwarebooks.com. If you type in socks, you'll find them. And the last band book bling is, hope you can see that. This is a lapel pin, right? You just put it right here. And it says read band books. Yeah, a lapel pin. So that's the bling that I have. I want to thank you all so much for being so encouraging. As I was saying on my TikTok, one of my other lives, I'm definitely shy. I'm shy. You know, you don't know it, but I am. And I'm an introvert. So I'm doing these though. I'm trying to get on camera more frequently so that I can be more comfortable with it. Usually, yes, you've seen me speak before, but you don't know that behind the scenes, I mean, I have to practice. I have to have my notes. I have to like go through it over and over in my brain. But I want to grow into somebody who's more comfortable speaking extemporaneously off the top of my head, you know, that kind of thing. My future self is demanding it, and I want to rise to the occasion. So I do thank you so much just for watching. And in the future, you know, I'm going to just try to do these weekly. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying I'm doing fine. I'm going to, you know, keep practicing because I think this is important. The cause is what is pulling me out from my shyness, because the importance is greater than the fact that, you know, I'm a little bit shy. I'm shy on camera. Any questions before I let you all go on this beautiful day? Afriwarebooks.com is located in Maywood, and we've been in business 29 years. Next month, we're going to have a little special something as a celebration online. I'm still masking. I don't have my mask. I'm still masking. I just, you know, the pandemic, I'm not all, let's just take our masks off and be in a crowd. I'm not there. And, you know, everybody's in a different place, so. Okay, thank you to the folks who are in solidarity, you know, just by viewing. I know you don't necessarily agree with what I'm saying, but you are serving a very valuable, appreciated purpose by just watching as I stumble and figure out this social media world. You know, wow, that has just totally advanced so quickly during the pandemic. And I do, you know, it has its ups and downs, and I'm trying to leverage it in our favor. So have a beautiful day. I will see you again soon, hopefully in a week, and I'll just keep them, you know, short so I don't overthink it. But thank you. I don't know where the sign-off button is, so it'll be a little bit for me. Oh, I think I see it right here. Finish. Thanks again.